Hey folks, my name is Brian and you're watching Survival on Purpose. In today's video, I want to talk about the Estwing 26-inch camp axe. Sorry for all the noise. I'm thinking I should call this barking dog survival because every time I make a video in the backyard I got the dog barking next door. But it is what it is, so we're going to talk about axes today. And this is 26-inch Estwing camp axe. A little bit about this axe. It is made, best I could find on the Estwing website, it's made out of tool steel. Don't really know what that means, but it's a solid forged tool steel. It's got a solid handle all the way down. It's one piece of steel, so you're not going to break this axe. It's got, they call it a shock reduction handle. This axe is probably about 3 or 4 pounds. I'm guessing somewhere in the neighborhood around 40 bucks or so. So it's not crazy expensive. I'm going to show you a little bit about it. It's a profile. It's not really thick. It's got a kind of a good hammer head on it, so you can actually use this to hammer in stakes and stuff. It's probably not much of a splitting axe. You can see that profile is extremely narrow through here. So it's a really good chopping axe. Not too great on splitting. Doesn't have a whole lot of wedge shape right here. But it actually will split firewood pretty good. So, okay, you can see it's kind of rusting out a little, getting a little rust on it. It's carbon steel. So you got to kind of take care of it. It actually comes with a little snap-on sheath, but I could not, this is all pretty old axe. This thing's probably, I don't know, 10, 15 years old, and the sheath has been gone, and so I kind of made this little sleeve for it here. Real simple, nothing great, but let's take a look and see how it works. So one of the good things about this axe is, as opposed to a wooden handle axe, if you get this part of the handle right here in the split, it'll keep splitting. So that's really kind of helpful. Now, the downside of that is, if you're trying to split down some wood, I'll show you. Let's go ahead and get it over there. The handle itself will actually split. So the downside is, I don't know if you can see this, but the handle also can get bent a little bit. And this one's been bent just a little bit over the years, but you can straighten it back out pretty easy. It's got a real, like I say, a really good hammer pole for knocking in stuff, and you're not going to worry about it messing up the opening hole for where the shaft comes through like you would in a wooden axe. Pretty good steel. Okay, we took a look at how well this axe splits a larger piece of wood. I'll take a quick look and see how well it does on making some smaller wood for my BioLite stove. So split down this little piece here. Go ahead and chop it up into some lengths. And then split it down even smaller. And when you're working with little wood like this, you gotta watch out, you don't hurt your finger, don't cut your fingers off. But you can actually just tap the top of it. It's pretty good. It's got that nice flat pole on it to hit. And what I like to do is just kind of get it on here and just give it a little tap just to get it seated. If you do too much, it's going to split through and cut you, but once you get it seated, then you just kind of tap it down through the wood. This is oak, believe. And I'm going to make some smaller, pretty small pieces of kindling. So it really does pretty well, even at reasonably detailed work. Okay, so it's a pretty good steel. Again, the handle will bend right through here. If you're not careful, it'll bend this way. It's not going to bend this way. You think maybe somebody could. I can't. It is actually a couple of differences. I won't say they're drawbacks, but they might be between this and a wood handle axe. If you're doing some serious chopping, where you're going to let your hand slide down as you're chopping, it's not. You got some bumps here. It's not like a wood handle axe, a hickory handle axe. So that's definitely a little different when you're doing some serious chopping. They have a smaller one. They actually have a little hatchet with all the same solid steel construction. So the advantage of this knife, of this axe, maybe over a wooden traditional hickory handled axe, you're not going to break this handle. You can bend it, you're not going to break it. If you have a miss hit, it's just going to be okay. You can beat the tar out of stuff with the back of it, and you're not going to spread the eye open and mess, where your handle becomes loose. So, this knife will last you. This knife, I keep calling it a knife. This axe will last you probably the rest of your life if you don't let it rust out, if you don't lose it. It's not too difficult to sharpen, so the steel's not super hard. I didn't have much trouble getting it reasonably sharp. It's definitely not Wetterling sharp. Again, the head shape is not really conducive to a lot of heavy splitting. It kind of gets lodged in, but the good part is that the handle can actually help with the splitting. 26 inches long. It's a pretty comfortable axe, and the other good part about it is about 40 bucks, 36, 7 bucks at my local Home Depot. I think they're about 40 bucks on Amazon. So a lot less money. It sets you back a lot less money than a Wetterlings or a Gransford Brooks or something like that. So it's a different axe for a different use. It's not a felling axe. It's not going to be a Scandinavian type grind. It's not going to have quite the sharpness. You're not going to make a feather stick with this axe, I don't think, unless you spend a lot of time getting it sharp. But for a average, ordinary, day-to-day camp use for the average person, this is going to be a great axe for you. It's going to do everything you need to do in an average camping environment. If you're not chopping down trees to build a house, then this will do it for you. And this will chop a tree down. Don't get me wrong. It's just a little more cumbersome to use maybe than a smooth hickory handle. And so I hope this has been helpful. That's the Estwing axe. Once again, I appreciate you watching the channel, Survival on Purpose. I appreciate you subscribing, giving it the old thumbs up if you like it, and telling your friends about it. Check me out on Twitter, Facebook if I'm there yet, and thanks again. So this is Brian with Survival on Purpose. Remember, survival is not an accident. See you next time.